Hi everyone, Rocker here. As I'm walking along in downtown Galt, Cambridge, Ontario, and I'm walking along the River Walk, and this is one of the scenes that was filmed over and over again in a very popular TV show called The Handmaid's Tales. And the Handmaid's Tales were walking along the wall along the side of the river, which is right there. And as they're walking along, is that above the wall is that you had people that were basically killed, and they were thrown over the top of the wall and hung over the top to be able to remind people about the rules of Gilead, about the laws, that you don't break them, and all those different things in that draconian fictional world that was Gilead. Here in Canada, we're at a crossroads right now. Is that we have an election coming up within the Conservative Party leadership, as well that there's in all likelihood going to be an election called by the end of September if Trudeau thinks that he can actually get a majority government. So, and what's happening is that in the States we had what was called the Roe versus Wade that was overturned. And you had the big upheaval that's happening with Americans right now, as far as those that are for abortion, those that are against abortions. In Canada, we haven't gone through that. Abortions have been legal in Canada since 1988. For the past 34 years, we have allowed every type of abortion, any kind of reasoning for it, to be able to take place, no questions asked. What has been happening significantly over the last couple of years is that we've seen an increase in sex-selected abortions. And basically what that means is that if you were pregnant and you had a girl and you decided that you didn't want to have a girl, is that you would choose to be able to abort that child, that unborn child. Now, the problem that I have with that is that the abortion is not based on an unwanted pregnancy. The abortion is based on an unwanted sex. Now, to me, that's a moral dilemma. To me, that's something that I cannot agree with. You have countries like China and India, they have banned and outlawed that practice because you had villages that were full of boys and there was very few girls around, and that they knew that come 10, 15 years down the road, it was going to cause a huge issue within the population. Now, from a moral perspective, I believe that in the first trimester, that abortion should still be legal in Canada. Once you get into the second and definitely the third trimester, especially hours, even days before an unborn child is born, that all of a sudden you decide, oh, I don't want to have this child. I believe that's wrong. I believe that if her life is at risk, or if she ends up being raped, that an abortion should be an option. I believe that within the first trimester is that an abortion should be an option. I do not believe that sex-selected abortion is right, and I do not condone it, and neither will I support it in any fashion, ways, or means. Now, we have two conservative leaders within the conservative leadership that have come out and spoken against same-sex abortions. And Dr. Leslie Lewis, she is dead set against it, and Pierre Poilievre is also dead set against it. Now, I would encourage you that if you are a conservative and you're watching this, is that we have just over 50 days before the election takes place for a new conservative leader. This is going to be an issue in the upcoming election. I firmly believe that if Trudeau believes that he can strike fast as far as calling an election for November, he will end up calling it the second, third week of September if he believes that he can get a majority. Now, two reasons for that is whoever the new leader of the Conservative Party is, they're just getting their feet underneath the ground. And secondly is that we have scandals that are playing out that come September, when Parliament reconvenes, that's going to be front and foremost. So Trudeau's going to want to basically prorogue Parliament so that he can delay all that as far as the question periods and all those things. And the other thing that might probably happen As far as the Emergency Act inquiry, that will end up probably be put on hold as well. I'm not too sure about that one. But same-sex abortions, I don't agree with it. Last trimester abortions, I don't agree with that either. So I just wanted to let you people know and give you food for thought is where do you stand on same-sex abortions? Do you believe that if you were having a child and you became pregnant and you were having a child and you found out that it was a girl, is it okay to be able to kill her and abort her just because of her sex? Nothing wrong with the health, nothing wrong with the child, but it's an unwanted female birth or an unwanted male birth. Is that you're not only choosing between abortion or not, you are literally choosing what kind of a child you want to have, a boy or a girl. I believe that's wrong, and we need to stand up against that. Take care.